I'll share my screen. Smooth as ever. Hello, chaps. Welcome. It is 20:35. I can't read. And I haven't done an update for a while, but I did have a meltdown last weekend. So apologies for that, but I was keen to just talk you through where I am as of now on the back of the meltdown. The last video we did was just before Christmas. I think I was feeling pretty sprightly. It didn't last. It did not last. But let's give an update as we finish the season, and let's talk through where we got to. So, back end of last season, I'd say we had a good season. So we ended up, didn't start off great, couple of losses, and managed to claw our way back up. Did okay, and ended up actually we got to about here, November, and didn't lose again in the league until into March, early March. And in that, we beat Groningen 5-0 and Den Haag 6-2. And Groningen were top at this point. So, we had no right to do that, but we should have scored 7. We did score 7. 2 were counted out as offside. Oh man, he's going to do the report. Didn't do that. Oh no. So lots of things happened. We won 5-0. But the thing was, at that point, we were flying high. We were buzzing. We were doing okay, and then it all went wrong. So, no, last season, you bloody thing. How do I do last season? Yeah, it doesn't let me. Past positions, Eredivisie for last year, Graafschap. Show me where I am, damn it. You suck. Oh, fuck it. Okay. Mad again. Anyway, we got to third, and we were like literally a point off second. And I was like, oh my God, we'll win the league. It's going to be amazing. And then we absolutely fell apart. We got a few injuries. Mikhail Gerlach got an injury as well. He found his scoring boots last season. And we one of our main defenders got an injury, and so we just turned into a fucking sieve. So we always score lots of goals, and we conceded a few, but we didn't concede a lot. 3-1 against Groningen last time round, 3 at a friendly, 3 against PSV reserves, who weren't reserves. They were actually their first team. And clean sheet against Groningen, who have scored the most goals in the league this season. Lost against Ajax, 2-1 away. Drew against VVV, should have won. We were 2-0 up against AZ and came back and drew 2-2. We were 2-1 up against Van den Bosch and they scored in the last minute. Then we conceded 12 goals in 3 games, despite scoring 6. 4-3. The WKA aren't even that good. Lost 5-3. That was a rubbish game. What happened there? That was mental. Lost 3-0 against Sparta. I said, I expect a win. And they scored in the first 17 seconds. I was like, fucking hell. Then I went on holiday, because at that point I went fucking mental. I'd lost it. Sofa's like, calm down. I was like, I'm not calming down. It's ridiculous. I've had a shit week. It's Friday night. I just don't want to be rubbish at this game. So I went on holiday, and we won 4-0 against Sparta. So well done, Ermi Lampy, my assistant manager, who grabbed out a win against Hercules. Lost against PSV 3-0. Fair enough, they were quite good. And then we ended up in the Eredivisie Euro playoff first round leg 1. So as you know, as I complained over the messages, the league, if you finish first, you win. Obviously, that's how leagues work. Second to fourth, Champions League, or maybe second to Champions League. Third and fourth is Europa League, and then between 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, they play a grueling 4-match, potentially more than that, knockout round where we played 8th, we'd played SC20 and AZ played WKE. So we beat 20 somehow, 4-0 away, and then 2-1 at home. Which was great. Did really well there. Gerlach's on form again. Mr. Anderson scored a goal. We just seem to do good when we're playing away. 1-2-1 in the home leg. It was squeaky at times, but we managed to get the win from corners. And then went up against WKE. Bear in mind, it's based on a point system. So you get 3 points for a win, then a point for a draw, But in that round, if you drew, you would then play again in a third leg, and it's winner takes all. I don't know. It's properly confusing, and the rules don't make any sense either. And then so we played in the final, played WKE, who we beat 3-1, which I was quite chuffed with. But despite the fact my main striker was off injured. And then we drew 1-1 in the second leg, which at that point I was like, yes, that means we are in Europe. Marvellous. And then it said, and the league ended up saying that WKE were in Europe. And I sent a picture. And I was like, oh. but I finished like 6 points ahead of them and beat them most of the time and beat them in the cup. And so anyway, eventually we are in Europe, which is nice. As a season goes, it was a shame we had such a bad end to the season because we could have finished on, we should have won at least 3 or 4 of the games, which would have put us on 66 points, which could have got us up into 4th spot if we'd have won some of those games that we ended up drawing or conceding loads of goals in. And if you look at last year, we actually finished 6th on 7 more points. So shame, but actually we're in Europe now, so it doesn't really matter. And obviously, if you look at where we were a while ago, we just managed to stay in the league on 29 points, and the year before we were in the first league. So quite chuffed with how that turned out. Highs and lows, obviously, and that's where we got to. But in terms of this year so far, we've played some friendlies, which I don't really give a shit about. But we played Ruch Chorzo, who are, they're Polish. Sorry, I thought they were Russian. They're Polish. They are a professional team, apparently. It's £47 per season ticket. They have 3,500 season ticket holders, worth 1.7 million, and they have 0 good players. The only person they know is him, who isn't really a person. So they didn't stand the chance. They were absolutely smashed. Their team was all invisible. So we won 3-0 away, which was cool. And then we won 5-0 at home, which was even better. And then in the next round of the cup, we've got Biru, who I think are the Bulgarian, Stara Zagora, who, well, he's not amazing. He's decent. He's not amazing. Nikolai Stoichev is not very good. Plamen Kaminov is not very good. And Zikov Boychev is not very good. So I'm hoping we can beat them. That'll then get us through to the 4th round. Is there a 4th round? I'm not entirely sure. But if we get into the group stage, that would be cool. Purely because of the money. That would be nice. Speaking of money, there is none. So we've sold players. A lot of them. So this is the first year we haven't had to sell one of our good players. If we go back to 33, we ended up selling Ernesto for 2.3 million, which cleared some of the debt. And last year we sold a combination of Marcus Laux, Casper de Ghost, Van der Sander, Den Hove, and Petri, Elo Petri, 3.5 million, which gave us some more money. We did get 1.8 million for finishing 7th in the league again, and just got 2 million for finishing for TV rights, which is nice. Which does mean that now, financially-wise, we have some monies, about £2 million, £2.5 million, which is cool. So, summary: we are netting a loss of about £100,000 a month, but it looks like most of the heavy debt we had has gone. They've stopped moaning about the debt anyway, which is nice. So, profit from last season actually we actually made a profit, which is good. We have some money in the bank, none to spend, but we have a bigger wage budget, which allowed me to get some players in on the old Frebez. So we sold. No one is any good. Igor Kovacic. No, that's bought. That's what we bought. We sold Schneider this season. We bought in for 14k last year. Not really good on £5,000 a week. Getting old. He's gone. He's out. Dan Moskalenko. I don't want to renew his contract because he's old and slow. He's good, but he's just a bit slow. So he's out. Hafid is unavailed. Got rid of him. decent, but we just didn't play him. Yaya Sierra, who in his first 8 games for us was absolutely amazing. So last season he joined on a free and was a god. This season he just couldn't do bugger all. It was absolutely terrible. So he's gone on a free. Fidan Sipi has just gone for 25k or 14k. Just I thought it'd be good, but he wasn't really. And then we sold Santiago Cuella, who was half decent, but he joined on a free for us and was pretty much shocking every time we tried to play him. He used to play for Aston Villa though, so that's how we roll. That's how we roll. And Marcio went too. He was at one point our captain, but he didn't seem to play well, so I'd let him go. But we brought in some interesting players. So we brought in Igor Kovacic, who's 21, right wing midfielder, training up on his crossing, but I'm hoping that with a bit of pace and a bit of crossing, he can do a bit of damage on the wing. Or he came in on 120 grand. I might try and sell him for more than that at Christmas. Nikolaj Kostic, who came on a free. I do like a good defensive midfielder, so he's come in because he's physical. As Colin said, let's get physical. I got physical with him. Martin Nielsen was a right back who was on a free. I quite like the Danish players. I've got a right back called Mr. Anderson, who I'm a bit of a fan of. So he came in on a free, relatively cheap, hoping he'll improve. Got some training on his tackling going on. Zoran Gigic, I kind of shouldn't have bought him. His wages are quite cheap. He was on a free. And I thought I could use him as a makeshift left mid or right mid because he's relatively quick, 14 acceleration, 17 pace, 13 on crossing. Can't dribble for toffee, but I like that he's got pace that he can cross. I need that in my team at points. So he's in the squad. Anua Haji, who again, dribble, pace, can't cross, but he's training on crossing. But as a cheap winger, we'll give him a go. We've got Petr Dimitrov on a free, who is an absolute steal. 34, only on a year's contract, but hopefully can do a job. He's done well in there so far in games he's played. He's got 2 goals in Europe for us so far, and just a bit of a beast at the back. So we like that. Quite tall as well. I've got Hans. I'm very chuffed with this guy, Hans Dietrich. I mentioned to Ben or you guys on the WhatsApp, the kind of players that you can suddenly get access to on the free agent market once you're in Europe. This guy popped up, which means I now have 2 decent strikers for the first time ever. I've had one a season so far, and this guy finishing is not great, but his composure's better. He's really quick, 18 acceleration, well, kind of quick, 14 pace, good teamwork, decent at heading, good at dribbling. He scores goals. He's got 2 goals from the bench in the Europe games he's played for us, Europa League. Gives a good option up front if Gerlach gets injured. And also, if he is terrible, I can sell him for some money as well because he's come in and is suddenly worth, no, that's where he's come from. He's suddenly worth 1.7 million. So might sell him at Christmas or next year. Neil Cameron came on a free. Backup goalkeeper. Cheap wages, but his appearance fee is astronomical. Like £5,000, yeah, 5. So he's not going to play many games, but he will be a good option for us as a backup keeper if Master Uguay gets injured. And then I soon realised in Europe you have to have a certain amount of Dutch players, and I had none. So I had to suddenly go on a transfer hunt for the best, least naff Dutch players I could find. So we got Hans de Plat, who's just an average defender, but because he can sit at left back, right back, and at the back at centre, quite chuffed with him. Has immediately got injured for about 8 weeks, but that's not a problem. He's in the squad anyway. Peters van der Plas, oh yeesh, he's actually quite a good striker. But he's 34. But again, short, 2-year contract, only £1,000 a week, and he's training up some of my kids as well. And he's just like a decent pair of hands really to have around. So he's in. Chris Verbuur, he's joined 21. Decent midfielder, not amazing, could be faster. I think he's training on, what's he training on? Pace? Yeah, quickness. So it could be a little bit deadly if he gets his pace up, but someone not bad to have on the bench. Jon van der Waal is, I like this kind of shape for a defensive midfielder. Very good at heading, relatively tall, bouncy, and he can jump, and in good influence. So can do a job at defensive mid for me. And then also Ben Afalobi, who was better than that when I tried to buy him. It's quite expensive, but he's probably one of the better all-round players that I've got. He's 36, Only got him for a year. I'm toying now whether to play him at left back, because my left back is pants, or centre mid. I might go centre mid and see how it goes, because he's good at most things. I'm trying to improve his fitness, so I might stick him in centre mid. But I'm not sure. But that means the team now, the squad, looks like this. Generally, got Master Uguay in goal, who's doing okay. He did a job for us last season. He did well. He conceded 49, but that wasn't entirely his fault. But good to have on a free, come from Schalke, so a good like a German keeper. Mr. Anderson, a right back, who was a defensive midfielder, who I've retrained to be a right back. Who's getting there? He's getting good. Get good, but great penalties, amazing. Like he scored 4 goals last season, all from penalties. Had a good season, over 7, 3 man of the matches. I like that ex-Man United player. So a good little conversion to right back. In the centre back, we've got Peter Dimitriev, who is pretty much the same player as Matthias Meyer. He's still expensive, and his contract is now on for another 3 years, which could be more expensive. But I might try and get rid of him at the end of this year because he will start to get worse. But his stamina's okay, but he's just solid in the air. So I'm hoping him and Dimitriev at centre back will give me an option. I've got my cheap left back Osman Sekieri, who is probably one of the weaker points, but actually is quite cheap to run. He's Ghanaian, yeah. So he had a decent season as well. He did an okay season last season. He ended up getting something like 7.5. So again, he gets the odd assist. Played left mid for 1 game. So Amir Ali, big fan of him. Solid defensive midfielder, good at heading, good at tackling. Relatively expensive too if I want to sell him, which is nice. He had a good game last season. Good season last season, actually. And then the centre mid lineup, we've got Hayden Ozturk at left mid, who I remember on a previous video, I had him in this season and didn't really play him much. Brought him in this season, and all of a sudden he did really well. Got loads of assists and loads of goals. Struggled last season to make an impact, but still probably the best left mid I've got. So we'll keep him there. We've got a right mid. I'm converting a striker to be a right mid because he's good at crossing, good at finishing, and good at pace. And what he tends to do as well, sitting on the wing, is comes in and gets the odd goal. Also gets a few assists. So 14k for last season, 11 goals, 5 assists from the wing. I'll take that. Ed Pesles. His full name is not Ed Pesles. His full name is Eduardo Perez Lopez, but I prefer Ed Pesles. So we'll take that. I like him on the wing. He needs to work harder on the wing, but I like him there. And then the middle, we've got Hench Ewok, whose real name is not Ewok. His real name is Holger Iweka, but I prefer Hench Ewok. And he's pretty hench, to be fair to him. He had a good season last season. He was the second number 2 in buys of the season. Last season came on a free, 6 goals, 8 assists. Quality. Technically a striker, but I quite like him at centre mid because he gives me that creativity as well as being a bit physical as well. But he's getting old now, but he's quite cheap to have in the team, so we'll take him. And he's made an impact. He got 9.6 in his first game with us this season. And then Carlos Manuel Diniz, who I got for a free at Christmas last season. No, sorry, 110k at Christmas. Came into the squad, 3 goals, 7 assists, 2 man of the matches. Love that a lot. So he came in, sits in centre mid. Was playing him on the wing, but I'm stuck in centre mid because he's creative. Got influence. He's creative, and yeah. So he's a decent little player, and he's Cypriot too, which I like. And then I'm still playing the 4-1-4-1 formation. So currently up front is Mirko Gerlach still, who he's getting better. He's brave. He's got good teamwork. He's pretty quick, 16 on acceleration and pace. Then finishing is 16. His composure's a bit wank. He will occasionally just spaff something over the bar. But actually has only ever scored for me in his life. So those stats are stats for Graafschap. 37 goals, 13 assists, 14 man of the matches. 37 goals in essentially, 88 games. That's not bad. That's about more than one every 3 games. And he came on a free too. So, struggled in that season, but last season did well. Got to 20 goals for the season. He's done well. And also he's worth quite a bit of money now. So when my board inevitably loses their money, he could potentially come in and do a job and sell. And he's got 3 and 4 for Austria too, so he likes that. So yeah, that's the squad. On the bench, we've got Neil Cameron. This is where I think this season we've actually now got a decent chance to battle in Europe, because we have got Neil Cameron on the bench as our backup keeper. We've got Gary Stott, who had a great season last season, was our 3rd highest goal scorer last season. Maybe our 2nd highest goal scorer. 8 goals for us, 9 goals if you count the one in the cup. But he got a load of headers, had a good run, and again came on a free, so it's good centre back to have coming into the squad. Rui Carrera is getting a bit old now, but still a good option. He had a good season last season as well. 6 goals, 5 assists. From Doncaster. Doncaster. He's played in, look at that, Academia, Levante, Cordoba, Clemente Foot 63, Ari, Nuremberg, Doncaster. So he's a decent player. One of my many older statesmen that I've got in the squad, because I can't afford the young ones. Jordi van der Gaan is still knocking about. Technically not very good, but for some reason still seems to make an impact. Even last season, got 11 assists. So he's doing well on the assist front. His record is 15 assists the year before I joined. So probably not going to get many games this season, but he's someone that I can bring on. Also figured out that if I tell this guy to expect performance, he's a fucking god. So that's all I ever do. Chris Wimbuer, we saw. He's on the bench. Good all-rounders to have on the bench. Hans Dietrich, we saw as well. Big fan of him. I like him. And then also on the bench is Peter van der Plas. And then ineligible, we've got Ben Afolobi. He's terrible. He's just a shit keeper. Anyone there we've not seen? No, we've seen all of those. There's this guy, Felipe Ribeiro, who I've got, but if I'm honest, I'm trying to sell him because he doesn't really fit into my team. He's not really he's fast and good at heading, but not very good at attacking. So, yeah, not sure. Not sure on him. But yeah, but this season looks okay. So if we go back to the fixtures, it's a decent run. I'm hoping that, again, there's not too much of a... okay, so yeah, so that... Oh, what's that? Hang on, that's my phone. I'll give him a call back in a second. My glorious ringtone. So I think the only bit of concern for next season is that there are, in the middle of the season at the end, this run of Feyenoord, Groningen, PSV and 20 is going to be a bit of a pain. Don't know who organised that. Thank you to the schedulists. But that should hopefully mean that outside of that, I can get a good run going. For example, I'd argue that I could be winning against Willem, Sparta, WKE, Heerenveen, Go Ahead, Dordrecht. Maybe a draw against AZ, VVV, Volendam, Utrecht. It's a bit like when I used to play for Aves, and you knew in the first few seasons, or probably that Ben's finding, Porto, Benfica, Braga, Lisbon are going to give you a game. The rest of them, totally useless. Less so, there's a bit of range, but generally that's how you tend to find it. If they're not one of those top 4 teams, if they're not one of 20 PSV, Groningen, Feyenoord, or AZ, or Ajax, you're going to have a decent chance. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the hope. Fingers crossed we can make something happen. I don't think there's any more players looking to come in, are there, that I'm trying to buy? I think I might have. No, I tried to buy this guy, but he wanted like 16 grand, which I can't afford. Nope. Oh, Arsenal offered me a job, which is exciting. They offered me, I've got a budget currently of 0 transfer. How much have I got, actually? So I've got a budget of finance. Overview. 46k transfer budget, 115k per week. Arsenal offered me a £33 million transfer budget and £2.5 million a week. To which I said, nah. Because I'm an idiot. And I tried to buy an extra coach, and they said, we've got enough coaches. I was like, but I need a youth coach. They said, no, you don't. I said, but my youth have no coach. So that's a shame. I've gone from secure. I was untouchable at the start of the season. I'm now secure, which is a bit of a shame. Money we looked at. Confidence. Generally, everyone's pretty happy, I think. Everyone likes him. Competition. Okay. What? The board hope you can learn from the... Okay. All right. Stretchable. Yeah, they said that Quarterfinal of the Dutch Cup is going to be tough because they usually end up with against a decent team. But I think I've told the Eredivisie I can finish top half again because the budget wasn't much different between top half and third, and why shoot myself in the foot. I'd like to try to push for fourth. That's the I don't know if that will also be in Europe, but if I can nudge fourth place, that would be quite exciting. But I would have to decant somebody. Would have to make up a word to place somebody. So yeah, but no, I think we're going to be okay. I don't want him. I know who he is. No more on you. You're shit. So yeah, that's where we are really. Also, I will finish now. Arsenal offered me the job. I said no. Guess who they then offered the job? That's right, current Aves boss, Andre Villas-Boas, offered him the job. He went from Aves to Arsenal. And so Gabriel took over Aves, and he was at Porto, I think, which is controversial. That's a conversation, isn't it? Gabriel admires Diaz's talent. Diaz preaching his character's comment. Lovely. So yeah, so he, in terms of Porto, won the Taça de Portugal and gone to Aves there. So, but Aves now, don't know if I recognise the team at all. Probably a bit of a shit team. They've got Paulo Ferreira. None of these players. He was my player. He's a god. Look how strong he is. He's a beast. Can't tackle for shit, but yeah, he was. He's lightsaber's still there. He's a beast. That's what I want in my team. That kind of circle, my defensive midfielder. I found him when he was a wee sprite of a man. It's Sheriff, 600k. Look at that. I said was there. Norman Lorenzi's still there. Absolute god. Look how good he is. Insane in the membrane. I bet they play a defensive midfielder as well. Retards. Sebastian Boos. Absolute beast. Look at him. He's come on a lot. Not seen him for a couple of years. Found him when he was a wee sprite of man. £12 million I paid for him from Köln. He was one of the Germans. Has he played for? He is. Has he played for Portugal now? Yeah, he is. Yeah, go on, lad. I did that. That was on me. I bred him as Portuguese. Future Musagay. Look at that. Look at that. 19 acceleration, 19 agility, 19 balance, 18 pace, 20 stamina. Wow. Also, let's point out that when I was there, no one ever earned more than 50k a week. So, Mendes, solid, getting a bit old now. Boy's 31, but I love him. Oh, do you want to see some sexy Brazilians? Here we are. Arias. Oh, defensive midfielder. Sorry, look how tall he is. Thiago. Oh, absolute beast. Again, lots of money. Calm down, lads. Thiago. Oh, honestly, why did I leave this team? Don't know who any of those players are. In fact, he's still there. Listed. Oh yeah, he's terrible. That's right. Listed Nicholas Kraus. So it's just turned to me. Look at my old players now. David Flynn. Ooh. They've done a tracking thing where they basically sold all the good players and got lots of players now who are on shit money. Delphin Fernandez. He's terrible. Look at their transfer history. How much have they sold in recent years? 1.3 million last season. I'm intrigued now. 61 million the year before. $121 million the year before. Bought 20. Oh, they ruined my club. Absolutely ruined my club. 43 million. I think that's when I was there. The same year. You idiot. 65 million. Yeah. So, shame really, because they had some. They had an amazing squad. Not anymore. But where have they finished? Information. How do you look at the Zagros? Where did they finish last year? If they didn't win, they won. They won. They won. They won. They won. Yeah, they won most of them, if I'm honest. One of the best years I had was down here somewhere. Yeah, 86 points. The best of it was 90 points. Or 88 points. Like I drew one game rather than won them all. back in the day. Anyway, that's me. I hope you enjoyed the minimal update. I'll let you know how I get on in Europe. Cheers. Bye. Stop. How do I stop this thing?